Hi there, everybody. I'm Rosslyn, and as you can see, I'm here in the vampire's lair. Can I escape it? I don't know. I might get bitten in the arse. Who knows? I've not played this yet. This is Can You Escape the Vampire's Lair by a rather wonderful guy, my friend Dave Morris, who is an exceptional writer in my opinion, and I have only played his quite old vintage books so far. His Transformer game book, I've made a playthrough of one of those, and also one of his Nightmare books. And I'm doing a lore, I'm halfway through the lore for another one of those. And because it's got a huge lore chunk at the start, this, however, is a lot newer. They're from the 80s. And this one was a. Let's see. Oh! It's adapted from The Crypt of the Vampire. Interesting. It was revised and published in 2024 by Fabled Lands LLP. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. The interior illustrations are by Leo Hartis. Brilliant. Okay. Oh, it's got an intro that tells you about the Crypt of the Vampire. Okay, neat. So it says The Crypt of the Vampire, published in 1984, was my first game book. To mark its 40th anniversary, I considered rewriting it as I would do it today, but rejected that as not in the old school spirit of the original. It would then be an entirely different work. He's got a point. Instead, I decided to channel my younger self, digging deeper into the atmosphere of the classic Hammer and Universal horror films that originally inspired me. Ah, over here. I'm looking over here because I'm getting excitable because at this point I'm just gonna show off this random nerd swag that you might sometimes see in the background kicking about. I got this for the art mainly. But yeah, no, I decided to collect tarot decks with cool themes and stuff. This is the Universal Monsters tarot deck, and it's cool. It is good. If you just like collecting tarot decks or you read tarot or whatever, it's really it's beautiful. I'm glad I got it. Anyway, I shan't digress. He's saying that it's the atmosphere of the classic Hammer and Universal horror films that originally inspired him, and that he's channeling his younger self to dig deeper into that. This is what he's saying here. The result is the book you're holding, The Vampire's Lair, a return to the first book with less of a dungeon bash feel and more of the exuberant thrills and chills of the classic monster movies. This sounds great! This version was originally intended to be an audio adventure on Amazon's Alexa. Oh, that's cool. It is interesting to see how technology can be applied to bring game books to new formats and things. This is neat. Anyway, I've retained the breezy style and far from serious tone. Your character can die here, but dying horribly is half the fun, and you have more lives than a cat if you want to spend them. Is he going to give us glorious deaths? Because that's something that was so disappointing to me as a child and now in the fighting fantasy books. If you lose, like in fights and stuff, it doesn't even respect you enough to tell you you've died. Never mind describe it gloriously. It's just like, oh, here's an orc, here's some stats. If you win, here's a paragraph. You're just meant to figure it out and fuck off, I guess, on your own if you lost. Like, you don't get to hear about the crunch as the ogre's mace cracks your skull open or whatever. I mean, they could. I mean, that you didn't even take effort, that one. I mean, this is what flew back in those days, too. I feel like the Final Fantasy books could have had more glorious deaths. My point being, if he's going to give us some, I'm getting even more excited. I was already looking forward to this one. This is going to be really good. Okay, so it's explaining how to play. We do get quite a basic character sheet. It is beautiful, but I have done a crappy looking knock-up job on this piece of paper, as was my style with most of the green spines as a child, because of course photocopying was not easy in those days. And I am not writing on my books. I still don't know what tinky ass kids be getting pencils and scribbling all over their Fight Fancy books, honestly. These feral kids you get. Anyway. Right, how to play. The Vampire's Lair is a game book in which you take the role of a fearless, or maybe not so fearless, adventurer who is forced to shelter for the night in an eerie manse in the woods. You start at section 1 and play on from there, turning to whichever entry corresponds to your next choice. You will need a sheet like the one on the opposite page. That's the one I showed you a pretty minute ago. On this, you'll keep notes of the items you've picked up, the lives you've spent, and the keywords you've collected. Keywords are snazzy. They're often used to keep track of if you've visited a location before, unless you do stuff with time and reuse of locations. That's exciting. I like when we get keywords and things mentioned. It looks like this one's not going to get silly complicated with it too, because we've just got a little box to write them in. Ah, great. So, I'm just looking to see. Now, items are anything you come across that you want to carry with you. So a sword, a lantern, a crucifix, stuff like that. So he's saying tangible objects, I think. You spend lives to continue the adventure if and when you get killed. Now this is interesting and I have not seen this in a game book before. I like that this is officially allowed. You can get right through to the end and overcome the vampire, maybe, but the real challenge is to do it without spending any lives. Anytime you're killed, you'll be given the option to spend a life and play on from that point. Or you can start the adventure from scratch, in which case reset your spent lives back to 0. Keywords keep track of things that have happened to you. You'll discover about those as you play. Got all that? Then you're ready to start. Refreshingly simple. Okay, let's turn to 1. Brilliant. Oh, we get beautiful colour illustrations. Gosh, I hope the crappy light that I've got set up just now is going to pick this up then. I didn't think of this. Right. Oh, it's kind of... Yeah, you can see that, right? Look how nice that is. You do not usually get colour illustrations in game books. So I do appreciate that. This must be me coming up to an ornate gate. It looks like a grim woods behind it, but I'll have to read the thing to see for sure. Oh, aye. The forest is not a place to be caught out after dark. The trees lean in on all sides. The air is damp and cold. And the muddy track seems to want to drag you down under the earth. It's easy to believe all the terrifying stories you've heard. What's that? A howl. Wolves. They're not far behind. You better quicken your pace. You had hoped to get through the forest, to the safety of a tavern before nightfall. But you must have taken a wrong turning, and now you're hopelessly lost. Ahead is a stone wall, choked with moss and ivy. A path off the main track brings you to a gate. Ah, the gate. Through the iron bars of the gate, you see a garden where trees and shrubs cower in the rain. Maybe there's a house where you could find shelter. As you reach for the latch of the gate, you see that the iron latticework forms a strange design. It's in the shape of a monster with giant claws. Oh, it is too. Aye, I did not notice that before, but see its little claws there? You see the monster up top there? Yeah, nice, okay. Well, not nice, it's scary as hell, but you know what I mean? Okay. So the question is, straight away, do I want to open this monstrous looking gate or look for another way in? I mean, it seems like the obvious entrance. I mean, it's a bit intimidating, but yeah, no, I'm just going to try and walk in. I mean, it's pretty bad. It is after dark, clearly. It's cold. It's muddy. There's wolves. Yeah, I want to get to the tavern before nightfall. As you can see behind me, it's coming in. I mean, it's really just a bit of a scary looking gate, isn't it? Otherwise, I have to look for a whole other way in. I'm going to open the gate. Right. 3, 5, 1. As you turn the latch, there is a harsh, grating sound, followed by a metallic snap. A stabbing pain shoots up your arm. The latticework figure has come to life. Oh. Its iron fingers are closed like a man trap. I want to chime in here and say, or a woman trap, because I think I'm going to be a woman this playthrough. But yeah, no, similar to man trap, I assume both traps are the same. Anyway, it's snapping like a man trap around my wrist. Yes, you struggle frantically but cannot free yourself. It draws back its arm and flings you across the lawn. Fortunately, you land in a patch of muddied grass, and although dazed and wet, you aren't badly hurt. Wow, that could have gone so much worse. Wow. Okay, so, I mean, I've been thrown, I'm dazed and wet, but I'm alright. I'm going to write down a code word. Primrose? Can't tell if that's a good thing. I feel like it's just not necessarily good or bad, is it? It's just to indicate. Maybe for if we come back to the gate again. You know what I mean? Don't know. Anyway, I'm writing down Primrose. That's completely fine. Right then. Now to turn to 101. Looking back, you see the iron figure has again become part of the gate. Was that real? Or was it your imagination? Perhaps you'd have been better off taking your chances with the wolves. But it seems you're trapped in the garden now. So the only thing you can do is set off along the gravel path towards the house. I am turning to 133. Through the rain and the gathering gloom, a flash of lightning reveals a large mansion. Who lives there? And what sort of greeting will they give to a stranger? It's true, it's a bit anxiety-inducing. Right. You're making your way around a large ornamental pond when you see a figure coming through the bushes. He carries a musket in one hand. As he comes nearer, you see he is a soldier in a threadbare uniform, perhaps a deserter. Do I want to call out him or hide? This is creepy as hell. I am hiding. I'm going to go to 2, 2, 3 and hide. Yeah. Crouching behind a hedge, hardly daring to take a breath, you wait as the soldier stalks nearer. Did he see where you went? Oh, apparently not, as he walks right by, eyes narrowed against the driving rain, as he scours the garden for any trace of you. Ooh, so he is looking for me. Best ahead, eh? Okay. He passes so close to your hiding place that you can hear him muttering, "Warm fresh blood for the master. How pleased he will be." I'll just hide. Once the soldier is out of sight, you hurry on towards the house. Don't get an option, I'm just going to 294 now. The house is old and looks abandoned. There are no lights in any of the windows. Oh, this must be it here, I think. I think that's for us, this illustration. I'll try and get a good... It's tricky to get a good picture. I know the lighting is not the best, maybe? But you can see the kind of thing that's going on there. We've got quite the foreboding house back there, with a very menacing, I was going to say pond, but I don't know if it is. It might be cobblestones there, but yeah, a very menacing, demonic type of figurine statue on a plinth there at the front. It's not a nice looking house. Right, so the house is old and looks abandoned. Yeah, there are no lights in any of the windows. The narrow, latticed windows remind you of watchful eyes, and it is not the wind that makes you shiver now. As you walk towards the door, you pass a small fountain with a statue in the middle. Ah, is a fountain, okay. Do I want to look in the fountain? I think I do. Or do I want to knock at the door? I bet there's something nice in the fountain. Let's go to 303 and have a look. Right. The fountain is full of stagnant water and decaying leaves. A few coins lie in the mire at the bottom. Who would make a wish here, in this forsaken place? You glance at the forbidding facade of the house, with its lightless, brooding windows, and a shiver runs down your spine. Perhaps a wish isn't such a bad idea, after all. Do I want to make a wish or knock at the door? I mean, in for a penny, in for a pound, and it doesn't seem to even be a wishing well that wants money. So, sure, let's try a little wish. Oh, it does need a coin, but I've just pulled one out. That's fine. I was going to say it doesn't have a gold section on the character sheet, so it's not too bad. It's not like money I would have to spend at the tavern, so I think a wish could be good to have. This is a solid choice, I feel. Yeah. You drop a coin into the murky green water. For a moment, nothing happens. Dave's ahead of me on this one. Right, yeah, it says, did you just waste money that would have been better spent on lodging at an inn? But now the water is swirling with a dull red colour. The ripples are forming a pattern. You glimpse a malevolent face glaring up at you with hypnotic eyes. You see swirling mist, a tangle of dripping branches, a brick kiln. This vision fades almost at once. You rub your eyes. Was it a vision or just a trick of your weary imagination? Still, as you go up to the door, you feel forewarned of the danger within. And to record another code word, and it sounds like this is a good one to have noted down. I meant to note down the keyword bodiless. So I've just written that on my sheet. And we're going to 59 now. Cool. The door swings open at your touch. You're in a large hall from which wide stairs lead up to the next floor. You wait until your eyes have grown accustomed to the darkness. There is a door to your right, and in the deep shadows beyond the stairs, you can see a passage leading further back into the house. Do I want to go up the stairs, take a look through the door, or go along the passage? Ooh. Well, I think I'm going to have a look through this door to the right. Yeah. The deep shadows beyond the stairs passage is a little bit intimidating. I don't think we're quite ready to go upstairs. Let's have a little sneaky peek through this door. Turn it to 20 for that. It's a long, drafty room, lined from floor to ceiling with cracked, leather-bound books. In the darkness, you blunder into a desk. Something topples, and by instinct you catch it. A lantern. It is with considerable relief that you light the lantern and hold it up to dispel the shadows. This must be me doing it here in the picture. With a very creepy looking bone chair in the light. I think that's for us anyway. Let's see, we're on the next page. Oh, I can add the lantern to my list of items. And there's a strange, intricately carved ivory chair beside the desk. The armrests are shaped like skeletal hands, and the back of the chair looks like a rib cage. You look around you at the looming stacks of books. That is a lot of reading matter. Right, I'm writing down my lantern here. Right, well, I do think that looking at the books is surely a good idea. I mean, it's a lot of reading matter. Some of it must be worth looking at. I can't really sit and just take it all in, you know, but just have a look at some of them. Makes sense. So we're going to 109 for that. You take down one of the volumes and blow the dust off its cover. It seems to be an encyclopedia of local folklore, but the entries are arranged in no particular order, and there is no index. If there's anything useful to be gleaned from the book, you'll need to take some time to study it properly. Right. Well, it's not giving me other options, but it is a book about folklore. This has got to be useful. And the options, I think there are only two. Yeah, well, we can either carry the book over to the desk in order, I assume, to look at it better, or just go, nah, forget it, and go back to the hall. Well, obviously, we're going to have a look at this book, right? 343, did it say? Yes. Perfect. The book is hard to read in the flickering light of your lantern. The pages are worm-eaten and yellow. The writing's small and old-fashioned. Or perhaps it's simply that you are too tired to concentrate. As you stretch, feeling the fatigue of the last few hours, the ivory chair creaks under your weight. Oh, I feel like this is going to be a falling asleep situation, isn't it? But I don't think it's because of magic. Maybe. And I might be able to read something useful. The options are just keep reading or go back to the hall. It doesn't sound like this is magical ensorcelment. I think I'm just tired. I'm gonna keep reading in case I find something useful. Right. You close your eyes for just a minute. Or was it longer? The lantern is sputtering. You should trim the wick, but you can't seem to move your hands. Oh no. Then you see why. It's the chair. It is not made of ivory, as you thought, but of human bones. And those bones have come to life. It has your wrists caught in hard, skeletal fingers. The ribs of the back have curved around, clamping you tight. The skull of the headrest leans forward and presses bony jaws close to your ear. Panic gives you strength, but for all your struggling, you cannot wrench yourself free. Would you like to spend a life and continue, or start again from the beginning? Well, I'm definitely not going to stop here, am I now? But we are coming up for 26 minutes, so this could be episode 1. And then, upon spending a life, we'll go to 103, where I extricate myself from the macabre chair. And I will make an extra little box to keep track of what paragraph I am on. And write down that I've used one life too. Perfect. Well, this is absolutely wonderful, and I am going to no doubt crack straight on with this and make the second episode. I would also like to go and see... Surely the Crypt of the Vampire's Greenspine, is it? Yeah, it's the first book of the 2 vampire ones, isn't it? I probably have that one then. It's Revenge of the Vampire that I don't have for the same reason that nobody else has it. Yeah. It'd be good to do it too, because this is very narrative and story based, isn't it? I would love to see the just the vintage 80s dungeon crawl version of what he had thought of, that a young Dave would have thought of. God, that's ages ago, isn't it? Like 40 years ago. This is just going to be so interesting. But this book is really enjoyable. I recommend this book. It's by Dave Morris. Can you escape the vampire's lair? I don't know. I think you should buy the book and find out. Yes, not a promotion, I want to say. I just genuinely think it's a really fun playthrough so far. I'm really looking forward to making the next episode, but I'm going to say toodaloo the new to you and get on with compressing and uploading this and making part 2. Yeah, that's all I've got to say. Bye-bye.